Okay, welcome everybody. I mean, for those who do not know me, I'm Jean-Michel Godeffroy. Is it working? I'm the chairman of the T2S board. I'm also now chairman of the PSSC, the Payment System Committee of the Euro system, except for the oversight issues where I'm not competent. Why have we done this reorganization, which is also done in parallel at the ECB with the staff? One of the reasons, and I was advocating for it for a long time, is that we have brought Target 2 and T2S under the same, let's say, governance, whether it is the case for the ECB, and Mark Bale is now the Director General for the whole area, and it is also the case at the level of the committees of the Euro system. That's why I'm now the chairman of the two committees, one which deals with Target 2, the other with T2S. Because of course, and I know this is one thing that this meeting is proving, is that the difference between Target 2 and T2S will still exist, but there is a need for Target 2 and T2S to work closely together, and that's why I know there are a lot of representatives from central bank in this room, and they have in particular to make sure that this articulation functions. So I will stay here also when Nacho makes the debriefing about what has happened recently. I will stay here so that you can also ask questions about the decisions of the T2S board. Most of the decisions of the T2S board are in fact decisions to present an issue to the Governing Council, because you know that the Governing Council decides in the end, not of every detail, but every important issue they are deciding on the basis of the proposals of the T2S board. Now, what can I say about T2S from the perspective of the T2S board? First of all, we are exactly today 1 year from the opening of T2S. I don't know whether you did this meeting on purpose, but there is exactly 1 year. In 1 year from now, I hope I will be in Milan, drinking I don't know what to be sure to witness the success of T2S. In fact, we may wait a few days before making sure that we can drink. But this underlines the importance of what you're going to do now. I know you are key critical people for the testing of T2S. I would not like to be long, because I know I would not like to duplicate what Nacho is going to say. But from the perspective of the T2S board, I think we are extremely grateful to our colleagues of the 4CB who have been able to deliver the software. You know that they have not finished testing the software before we took the software at the ECB to test it ourselves. So this is an element of the parallelism that we see more and more on the tasks, the final task of the project. It's a project which has lasted almost 10 years. And in the end, what I see now, 1 year from the end, is that we have pushed a number of things, and more things have to be done at the last moment. We are still in a manageable situation, but when I'm asked in conferences to say where we are about T2S, I typically say, so far so good. So far so good is an expression that the English or the Anglo-Saxon use, and which reflects the fact that we have no indication that there will be something wrong. So we are really working on the basis of the first migration to T2S on the 25th of June 2015. But so far so good implies also that we don't know what may happen. And if something happens that we cannot plan today, we are not, we are in difficulty because we have eaten a large part of the buffers that were in our plan. So I think it's important that I have this honest assessment. I want to make clear we are even preparing a festivity event, you know, for the 25th or 29th, I don't know, of June. So we believe, strongly believe, that we will be ready on the 25th of June. But of course, there are still a lot of things to test, and we may still discover problems. So we have to be prudent, but those who would be imprudent were those who would bet that we would have a delay. Every day which moves is making the 25th of June safer. I mean, I don't think I would say more, because Nacho is going to give a more general update about T2S. I will stay with you so that you have the possibility to ask questions to Nacho or to me before you really start the purpose of the day. Nacho?
Yes. So I will provide a short update on the project, a very short one, because most of you here but it's probably also for those who are listening us on a webcast, who are following the project perhaps with necessarily a bit more distance than that of you here can get the broader picture. So it's been a long march, as you can see in this table, from when the project was initiated, and as Jean-Michel said, we are actually now less than a year ahead of the go live date. We had a session, a technical session like this exactly 1 year ago, and the focus was very much for us, for the Eurosystem, to explain where we were. I would say the focus in this technical session is now really more for the CSDs and for the NCBs to say where they are with their communities, because the user testing really starts now. Basically, the start of pilot testing is just a few days ahead of us, and that's when those CSDs, national central banks of the first wave, have the possibility to start testing what they have, their preparations. So we are also halfway through what is called Eurosystem acceptance testing. This is a quality assurance on the side of the ECB on the software, on the platform that has already been delivered by the 4CB. So the next steps ahead for the looking exclusively to the first wave is at the end of August, basically at the beginning of August, we have to basically indicate whether there's a readiness for connectivity setup, and as from the 1st of September, in 2 months from now, the T2S board has to take a decision, go, no go. T2S is in a good quality condition to start user testing. We can say already now that basically from the perspective of pilot testing, which starts in a few days from now, there is no commitment for pilot testing. There was no commitment on the Eurosystem side to a given quality. I will explain where we are in this respect, but we consider that pilot testing can start already now. So then the important milestone for CSDs, and in particular for CSDs will be to start the bilateral interoperability testing on the 1st of October. Bilateral interoperability testing is the testing of each CSD's or NCB's developments with the T2S platform. At the beginning of 2015, it's the start of multilateral interoperability testing. That's when CSDs don't only test themselves with the T2S platform, but also on a multilateral basis with each other. And the key date from the perspective of banks and other users of CSDs and NCBs is, for the first wave, the 2nd of March, where basically they have to start, basically all the developments from the side of each bank should be ready to start testing for those which are going to connect to the first wave by the 2nd of March. And then 22nd of June is the go-live date. 25th of June is the celebration of the. I could see that you were thinking already about the celebration, which is
Yes.
which is good.
Sorry about this.
A few words now on we will basically not concentrate on this during the rest of the session because it's on user testing and migration, but where are we in terms of Eurosystem acceptance testing? As I have said before, this is a process where we assess on behalf of the Eurosystem the quality of the platform. The 4CB have already given us a tested platform. They have run, I think, around 25,000 test cases to test the whole functionality of the T2S platform. What we have done at ECB level, basically given the time available, is to take 4,000 test cases which we considered were the most representative, also the most complex, with a view to ensure that we catch any defect through one test or through another. So we have 2 cycles in EAT. We're about to finalize the first cycle that is running the 4,000 test cases, and then we will have a second cycle which is running the same test cases again after checking for, basically, we will in the meantime receive what is called Lot 2 from the 4CB. That is a version of the platform that incorporates some change requests which were agreed, which have been agreed in the process, and we will also have the possibility to test again some of the tests where defects had been identified. So what I have here the end of May status, which is already becoming a bit old. I would highlight, the only point I would highlight from there, because I will give you now more updated statistics, is that, as you see, let's say in some domains, the progress of the testing has been progressing faster than the others, because logically, basically, as you encounter one defect or another, then you put the focus on the testing here or there. But altogether, where are we now? Now meaning at the end of last week, last Friday. So if the objective by the end of the month is to have run 100% of the test cases, the target for Friday last week was 97%. And out of that target of 97%, 92% of the cases, of the test cases have been run. So we are fairly confident that we will probably not finish by the 30th of June each and every test case, but basically we're very close to it. Then, in terms of the defects identified in, let's say, from altogether, it's been 272 defects so far. What is perhaps more important is that we have not identified any critical defects, so we see basically the possibility for CSDs and NCBs to, we don't see this as an obstacle for CSDs and NCBs to test their own platform, and therefore we don't see this impacting the project. The priority has been set on the defects which require resolution. And another important statistic is from the 272 defects, 74 have been corrected so far. The statistic was worse at the end of May, but basically the amount of defects corrected is now starting to catch up. Also, as 4CB basically are now 4CB are basically doing three things at the same time until now. Lot 2, finalizing their internal acceptance testing and correcting the defects identified in the Eurosystem acceptance testing. As the two first elements will come to completion basically now by the end of June, this would also liberate resources to progress on the correction of defects in the second half of the EAT. But as I say, the most important message to take on the progress of EAT, beside this basically last picture, is that there are no critical defects identified, which with, let's say, almost the complete test cases done from the ECB side is a very good news. That's all as regards my status update. Perhaps I would invite you to ask any questions either to Jean-Michel or to me, and then I will pass on the floor to Holger Thiemann, which you probably many know, to explain how we will to go over the agenda and to explain how we will conduct the session. So questions, please.
No question. Either what we said is completely obscure, or it was so clear that there is no need for precision. Okay, if there is really no question, then I will pass the floor to Holger, and I wish you a good meeting.